Hi, everyone. I am with Fred Evra, who is another survivor like me, and he did almost exactly the same I did. I will not repeat what I did. I will share with you this interview I did with Eric Berg about he said that, amazing success story.
I have a very, very amazing success story I'm going to share with you today, an interview. And the reason that I'm not actually just recording the entire interview because I did two interviews, and it's a total of 2 hours. So I'm going to condense this video into a much shorter video, and I want to just break it down into parts because it's quite amazing. Here's a guy who came down with stage 4 cancer, who is now free of cancer. And I want to tell this story. It's quite remarkable. Let's start with this first part, which involves the history leading up to his diagnosis. Before you found out you had cancer.
Now, Fred, can you tell us your story?
Of course. First, thank you for having me on your channel, Guy. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Hi, everybody. So my name is Fred Everard. In September 2020, I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and the stage 3 was limit stage 4. I was really at the border. So because I had quite an healthy lifestyle before that, I'm a martial art instructor. My entire life, I did fasting, intermittent fasting. I had quite a healthy lifestyle, not perfect, but pretty good. So it was quite a shock for me. It was quite a surprise. What I can tell you is this: the colon cancer runs in my family because both my father and my grandfather died of colon cancer. So in September 2020, I'm in France, because I'm French, for doing some exams, knowing that I live full-time in South Carolina. So I flew back to France to do exams, and they tell me, okay, you have a stage 3 colon cancer, and you need to start chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery right away. The surgery was really complicated because the tumor was very big. It was 10 centimeters, and it was very close to the sphincter muscles and to the anus. So it was quite risky. So they decided to go for 1 to 2 rounds of chemotherapy, which is anywhere between 12 and 20 sessions. About 6 months of radiation after that. And then when all would be finished, try to go for the surgery. So that was basically my choice. After, you know the whole story, after going back and forth to the hospital, talking to my oncologist, I've decided to go back to the US because my wife was still here. And of course, I wanted to be with her. I went back to the US, went to a Cancer Institute hospital here in South Carolina to double check and make sure I was not, I didn't have a wrong diagnosis. Basically, I wanted to be sure. So I came back to the US and they told me the same thing: stage 3 colon cancer, and it's urgent. And then I told my doctor here and in France, I told them, look, I want to try fasting before I do anything, because what you're offering me seems not only very risky, but not necessarily very promising. So I want to make sure I use my knowledge in fasting and nutrition in order to try to do something before going back to the hospital and using allopathic medicine. So of course, both doctors in France and in the US told me, you're crazy. If you go for 21-day fast, you're gonna die. So there's a lot of doubt when you're in this situation, and you know it very well, Guy. You take a decision, you change your mind, you want to do it, you don't want to do it, you want to fast, you want to do chemo. I mean, your mind is all over the place, and that's exactly what happened to me. It was really hard to make a decision. So I used all my martial art background. I really tried to focus, I breathe, I tried to let go of fear, and I decided to follow my guts and to trust my body and to trust my immune system before I allowed Western medicine to do its thing. So I did a fast. I fast with water for 21 days. After that, I went on a very strict ketogenic diet. Just like you, my friend, I went on YouTube and I watched all Dr. Berg's video, Paul Saladino's video, Ken Berry's video, all the doctors that promote a healthy lifestyle, nutrition, and especially through a ketogenic diet. And of course, I've read all the scientific literature on fasting and cancer, keto and cancer. And after 3 weeks of fasting, the tumor was 50% smaller. It went from 10 centimeters to a little bit above 5 centimeters. So, of course, I was encouraged to continue. I went to see my oncologist again here in South Carolina and told him, look, I'm going to do it my way. The only problem is I was in a lot of pain. The tests, of course, both in France and in the US before my fast. So MRI, PET scan, blood test, etc., etc. Everything confirmed the same diagnosis. And just after my 3-week fast, I did another set of tests. And that's where I've learned that the tumor was much smaller because I saw my medical record. But it was not enough. I mean, I don't blame it on the doctors. I'm against a system. I'm not against a person. But from what I've seen, regular doctors, they are so focused on what they believe and so focused on what they think we should do and so focused on the protocol of chemotherapy and radiation and surgery that they didn't even see the result of my fast. I mean, they saw it because the numbers were there, but for them it was insignificant. And they told me, nah, not much happened, with your fast. Let's keep going with our protocol. And I was about to say no, but like I said before, I was in such a lot of pain. It was so painful. Someday I wish I could die. It was so painful. So I talked about it to my oncologist, and he said, "Look, I know you don't want to do the chemical protocol. I know you don't want to do chemotherapy and stuff like that. But let me tell you that if you do a little bit of chemo, maybe 6 sessions instead of 12, pain is going to go away. I can guarantee that. I cannot guarantee it's going to heal you, but I know what happened when we treat people with pain. So if you can't even live, let's try that." So I said, okay, I'm not against Western medicine. I just didn't want to use a bazooka when I could use a knife. So basically, I said, okay, let's try. So I did a first session of chemotherapy with, of course, fasting before, during, and after the chemo. And the first session went well, no side effect, nothing because of the fasting, I believe. Then I did a second session where I thought to myself, is it because of the fast that I didn't have any side effects, or because my immune system is a little bit stronger than many people? I don't know. So let's try. And I went on a very light ketogenic diet for my second chemotherapy. Guy, I was sick like a dog. I thought I was going to die. Then for my third session, I fasted again. No side effect, nothing. I didn't throw up. I didn't lose one single hair, nothing. I was perfectly fine. And after my third session, I had no more pain. So, of course, what did I do? I stopped. And my oncologist was all over the place. No, you can't stop. We're having such great results. And I said, I stopped. I'm not doing chemotherapy to heal. I'm doing chemotherapy for comfort. Okay, because I was in pain. I'm not in pain anymore, so I'm stopping. And by the way, I'm not encouraging anyone to do what I did. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm not giving any advice. I'm not saying that's what people need to do. It's my experience knowing that before that episode, that cancer episode, I had 45 years of martial art training behind me. So my mind, my body were ready for that fight. And that's one of the reasons why I took the decision that I took. Okay, I'm 50 years old today and 45 years of martial arts. So it was part of my decision. Okay. After that, I stopped chemotherapy completely. I went 100% into my intermittent fasting, and ketogenic diet. In addition to that, I had a lot of supplements that I took, exactly the same as yours. Of course, there are no accidents. I did a lot of cryotherapy, so bathing myself in ice cold waterfall water several times a week. I did mini trampoline to boost my lymphatic system. I did everything I could to boost my my immunity. So I tried to attack the cancer from any angle. And exactly 4 months after I've been diagnosed, day for day, I was cured. So I was diagnosed with my stage 3 colon cancer on September 10, 2020. And on January 10, 2021, my oncologist told me there is no more tumor.
Fantastic story, about the same than me.
Yeah.
But what we have to do, Fred, it's to compare what you did and what I did, to give tips for the people, not for directly for the sick people, but for the doctors and the searcher. Like this, they can help others than us. We want to share our story. We want to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our only goal. We don't want to earn money. We want to save other people like us.
Yeah, it's important, I think, to share our stories and what we did, and to tell people, look, maybe it's not for everybody. I don't know. It's not my place to judge. But if you don't change the root cause of why you have developed a cancer, if you don't look with honesty at your lifestyle and every aspect of your lifestyle is not just nutrition. It's nutrition, it's fasting, or we're not to it. It's mental, it's emotional, it's your relationship with your spouse and children. If you have children, it's your work, it's your sleep, it's the challenges that you have in your life, good and bad. I mean, there's a lot of things people need to look at and make a decision. Is that a good avenue for me? But I believe whether you choose to go through the chemo and radiation route or you choose not to, in both cases, you need to make a change and most likely to improve your lifestyle and to take a good look at how your body works and how your immune system works. But for me today, it's obvious. Whether you choose to use modern medicine or not, you still have, in addition to that, to change your lifestyle.
Very interesting. Do you agree if I share your story with our friend Eric Berg?
Yes, of course. Of course, no problem. I trust you completely.
I will do it.
All right.
Thank you very much, everybody. And sorry for my English. He's French too, but his English is a lot better than mine. What we will do the next time you will see us, we will give you the tips, the things we discover. And when we spoke together, we discovered that we did exactly the same things and we had the same reactions. And this, we want to give you all this.
I agree. And just for the record, Guy, I understand your English perfectly.
You, because you are French. Thank you very much for to follow us, and if you know people who had same type of story, please go on survivefromcancer.com and send me gmail.com and send me an email. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.